Good morning, this is Keith from My Digital Medium, and it's time for our weekly update. We started these with the group thought energy experiment. That experiment has changed and shifted over time. In our last video, we observed how the effects of network transmissions or internet, local network traffic inside my house were affecting the radio. Some of that has been remedied since then. Since we last spoke, I've powered up a virtual server that will be able to house 4 servers, which means more development for us. Just last night, we reverted our radio back to standard radio. So when you listen to it, it's just a vanilla radio with audio. The pictures have been doing very well for the last week. We've got that setting locked in. So you actually have the ability to go full screen like I did on Facebook last night and zoom in, and then when you take the picture you can zoom in even more. So what we previously couldn't see because it was this big, we've been having some success with. So it might seem we've gotten off track, and that's probably true. A group experiment, what's the point? I think it's more to inspire people, to remind us that we all have an effect and we all have an impact, to bring people together, and also to prepare them for what is to come. It's not just, it's our public-facing stream that says, come and experiment. Aside from that, we're doing development on my own that's mostly private. However, we do post some samples here and there, and today we're going to take a little bit of a look at that. So in this last week, we fixed or minimized the issue of the electromagnetic interference from my power line adapters, which extend my local area network. All that means is a little bit less radio noise than what we had before, because, like as they say, ignorance is bliss. And after I became aware that's what it was, it started to annoy me, and it was a little out of control. So we brought that down a little bit. We cannot eliminate it, but we brought it down. Let's go ahead and begin by looking at clips from this past week. Only the first 1 or 2 are going to be of radio, and the rest are going to be of what I call artificially induced conditions for voice. What does that mean? It means I create experiments where I use white noise and tones, and I create conditions for non-physical personalities to be able to speak in those conditions without radios inside computers. That's quite a bit to swallow for a lot of people. A lot of people think it's I'm delusional, and that's okay. I understand that. But pretty soon you're going to be able to understand it yourself. Some of it is invention and discovery. Let's go ahead and continue and play some samples. Mini-me. Of course, those were samples of what I referred to as the Michael Spiricom edition, because you'll hear both tones and voice simultaneously, and they are both, one is influencing the other. They are both created simultaneously. But that was just to demonstrate what's going on behind the scenes and what development is like. Now we're back to plain vanilla radio because we want it to be as pure as possible. When we ask people to come experiment, we would like to be able to say this is a radio, and we live filter it and try to keep it simple. Last week, somebody came on the stream, and a couple troublemakers, and they claimed that they had heard this before, the station, and it was a station from somewhere. Anyway, we demonstrated from step 1 all the way back to the source of the audio, all the way back through the filtering, which we won't do again. But because they weren't interested, they were just there to cause problems. Let's see. Let's continue on. October 26th. Okay, this is when I began doing more experiments in private. These are samples of artificially induced conditions. The objective is we will be able to listen to non-physical personalities without radios. They will be clear. We will all understand it. There will not be a need for listening panels. There will not be a need for interpretation. We will just have to deal with the repercussions of what it implies scientifically and otherwise for the world. Okay, let's close that. October 26th. This phrase says, he is testing it very nice. On to another clip. Again, here's the phrase, but he is testing it. Let's close that. More October 26th. This one actually has words in it, which I recognized. It's a little choppy, but the word development occurs right here. Let's continue on. October 27th. I know it's not clear to understand, but some of you may see it. There is a progression here, and we are not that far away from being able to understand what is being said. This phrase is happiness. And this is actually a phrase that I will step out on a limb and say that I do understand what's being said. It's part of the arrangement of the tones, automate the machine. It's a system that is blank with music. Again, that phrase is part of the arrangement of the tones, automate the machine. It is a system that's something izing with music. Part of the arrangement of the tones. Automate the machine. It's a system that is something with music. Okay. October 31st, yesterday, Halloween. You won't hear these very well, but you will see a change. Let's begin first with this one. Actually, let's begin with the plane. And I realize that you do not understand what's being said. These are presented merely to show progress. The objective is not to stop here. The objective is to complete the objective. Let's see. This phrase right here is "we are patient." You'll hear it right here. All right, a couple more of those. This phrase is heard as "it's possible to build a machine." Okay, a couple more. I started to change things up, and as I was developing, these are some of the clips that occurred. Word right here is developing. He's developing. Developing as in process. All right. Let's get to that one in a second. Let's play these others first. This phrase is actually spirit team. You can't hear it as easily. It goes with or they go into it, and then this word spirit team. The rest is unintelligible. Okay, one more before I changed it. The balance of meditating is the phrase. Meditating is the clear section of that clip. Okay, then I changed it up and continued to develop, trying different settings. It's the whole phrase, as you can see, and it ends right here, and then it continues. Blah, 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 blah. It's going to be strong enough. Strong enough, you'll hear right here. Keep focusing, or he's focusing. The word focusing is clear, the rest is not. Next one is he's learning to manage the battery. That one I do not hear as I heard yesterday, and that does occur. Okay, now to see what I'm working on today. And we're going to change it up again. I just wanted to give you an indication of what is currently occurring. All right, what are we out of our... Listen. Let's go... Sounds like that stream needs a reboot. So that's pretty much it. We just wanted to show you that there are reasons why things have changed. It was a radio, it was this, it was that. We know we don't have a page up yet that explicitly defines and explains what it is the experiment is. And I apologize for that. It was a very impromptu move. We've been doing this for years. And frankly, we never took the time to explain because it was never any interest. Now that we're starting to get people from here and there, at some point we'll take the time to explain, but it will just be very simple. Here's the radio. It's being filtered. You have an effect. See what you can do to create an effect. We're going to leave it that simple. No promises, no guarantees. Whatever you see on the screen is actually always current, though. It's always correct. The information that I provide, if I change something up, is correct. But as I have more computers now and have the ability to run multiple streams with multiple internet connections, it'll give me the opportunity to be able to develop and play around on streams other than the one that you are currently visiting. So we have many things to look forward to as far as development, and hopefully we can see some progress, I hope, before Christmas. This is Keith from My Digital Medium. Thank you and have a good day.